Good morning, and thank you very much to everybody for joining us this morning at this media briefing on the outcomes of COP26. South Africa welcomes the outcome of the recently concluded Glasgow Climate Conference, COP26, which provided parties with a firm basis for the full and effective implementation of the United Nations Framework Agreement on Climate Change and its Paris Agreement. The international community has united behind a shared objective to inject a greater sense of urgency to address the global climate crisis, and to do so on the basis of international equity and the latest available science. The concluded Paris Agreement Work Programme will assist parties to fully implement the Paris Agreement in the context of a just transition and sustainable development that will leave no one behind. The complex Glasgow package outcome strikes the right balance to accommodate the very different national circumstances and capacities amongst nearly 200 parties, so that all are enabled and empowered to contribute their fair share and to enhance their climate ambition. Our country wants to congratulate the United Kingdom for the successful hosting of COP26 under very challenging circumstances in the context of the global coronavirus pandemic. I also want to take this opportunity personally to express my appreciation to President Ramaphosa and my cabinet colleagues for their guidance and support to our delegation, and to all members of the multi-stakeholder team South Africa for their outstanding contribution, both formally and informally at the event. COP26 sets the international community on the right track to addressing the existential challenge of climate change. For the first time, the governing bodies of the Convention and Paris Agreement have agreed to the importance of supporting developing countries in financing just transition elements of their climate actions, and to support the implementation of just transitions that promote sustainable development, the eradication of poverty, the creation of decent work, and quality jobs. The Glasgow Climate Conference, with its multiple layers of political and technical meetings as well as side events, sends a powerful signal of the need to restore the balance with nature, while also benefiting from the development, poverty eradication, and job creation opportunities associated with the transition towards a low emissions future. It signals the need to act, and to act now. To keep alive a shared objective to keep global temperatures closer to an increase of 1.5 degrees, and further assist parties with their efforts to address adaptation to climate change and the loss and damage associated with its impacts. For South Africa, the main priorities, as mandated by Cabinet ahead of COP26, were to secure a balanced outcome amongst the three objectives of the Paris Agreement, namely mitigation, adaptation, and means of implementation for financing and technical support. Because adaptation and financing have historically been neglected, it was important to us to secure an ambitious and progressive finance and adaptation package to support African and other developing countries, as well as to complete the Paris Agreement work program. The key technical work included setting up carbon markets, an enhanced transparency framework, and agreeing on common timeframes for the nationally determined contributions of parties to the agreement. These overarching objectives have been met. Parties have agreed to work towards limiting the aggregate global temperature increase to 1.5 degrees and to align their nationally determined contributions to this objective, as South Africa has already done through the submission of our enhanced NDC ahead of COP26. In this regard, an annual mitigation ambition work program has been established, coupled with ministerial roundtables to assess progress on implementation. Parties are encouraged to review their NDCs at any time in line with Article 4.11 of the Paris Agreement. Parties are also asked to update on a regular basis their long-term low emissions development strategy, and the UNFCCC Secretariat will provide a synthesis report on these strategies and on the NDCs on an annual basis. A 2-year work program has been agreed to operationalize the global goal on adaptation under the CMA as the governing body of the Paris Agreement. The deliberations on a new collective goal on climate finance support for developing countries have been initiated. The agenda item on long-term finance for developing countries, which was to have ended at COP26, will continue under the convention until 2027, with a specific focus on reviewing and monitoring the commitment of $100 billion per annum goal from 2021 to 2025.